See how we live. Hello, everyone. Okay, we are live. So welcome, everyone, to HoDiGa's Tarot. We have here, of course.
No, wait a minute. It's HoGa Day today.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, it's Hogarth. It's Hogarth. Hogarth today. As you will see, Dianne is not able to make it today. I've been so busy with stuff. I didn't even realize. And Lady G has let me know, because we have a little group chat. And Dianne's allergies are really playing up. As we know, it is allergy season, which is a really, really tough time of the year for her, as you can imagine. So Dianne, if you're listening, get well soon. I hope that passes for you, and because it is allergy season. However, we do have an action-packed show, lots of content to cover, and I've got some real revelations for you guys. So, but first of all, I want to say a hello and welcome to, of course, to Lady G. Hair looking fabulous, but you've got some news for us, haven't you? That hair's going to be changing, apparently.
Yes, as soon as we're done, I am going to take it and snip, snip, snip. It's all going bye-bye. So enjoy the flower while you can, because it's on its way out. Reason being, summer is coming, and I'm going to be doing some van time, and it is so hard to wash long hair and take care of it when you're traveling van and that stuff. So I'm cutting it all off today.
Wow, makes absolute sense. So before we proceed with the show, let's do some. Actually, let me look. I've got my notes here because I always forget stuff. So let me just check my notes. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Continued subscribers, but new ones as well. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Let's see, and of course, if you like the show, don't forget to like and subscribe or join, etc. All of that stuff. If you are also interested in Lady G's content as well, her link to her channel is in the description below. So I'll always link Dianne and whoever I collaborate with. They're always in the notes. Let's see. And then who is joining us today as well? Who do we have with us? We have got, you're all flowing in. Let me just see. So we've got Bernie Nicole, Gertrude High, Parmalee Stevens, Purple Sky, Susie, Zed, Jasper. Oh my gosh, so many of you. You're all coming in. So before we start the show, so obviously today, Lady G, we will have a little bit more time to actually debate different things, because it's the two-hander today. That does give us a bit more time. But I do want to talk a little bit about some astrological weather before we start the show. So what's the important thing? I've been talking about this Kala Sarpa Yoga for ages now. It started in December, and it will end on April the 25th. Yeah. So it's going to end on Monday. And what has the Kala Sarpa Yoga mean? It means all the planets on one side of the nodes of the moon, and it means cray-cray time. Look what has happened since December 2021 going into 2022. It's been extraordinary, hasn't it? We've had all sorts of scandals, shake-ups, revelations. We've had the start of the war in Ukraine. We've had Putin try and change his tactics, and now is focused on the southeast. So much has happened. We've had the Will Smith slap and all of the political intrigues straight up and down in between then. So just like how it proved, it's been cray-cray, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's that. So that phase, that energy is going to end technically on Monday. However, it is the French elections tomorrow, everyone. And this could mean that there could be the nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, could have one last huge surprise for us. What I've done, I've been analyzing the chart of France, Macron and Le Pen, and putting it all together. I was so engrossed, Lady G, that I burnt the fish.
Oh.
I had some salmon in the oven that basically came out like biscuit, you know, because I was so absorbed. And what I want to say is this: currently, at this stage, we'll go into some little details towards the end of the show. Macron is leading by 10%. Yeah. So I think he's on 58 and she's on, what is she on? She's on 48, something like that. I've lost the notes. Never mind. But don't believe the polls. The astrology is looking very extreme and Uranus is squaring everything. Uranus by transit in sidereal Aries is squaring the first house of France's chart, which means the identity and the body. It is opposing Macron's Uranus, which means midlife crisis. And it is also squaring the transiting moon in Capricorn, sidereal Capricorn, in Macron's first house. It is a grand, massive square. And so he could either win by a landslide, or it could be an absolute shocker. And all of this is happening as well in Marine Le Pen's 8th house, which means sudden shock, surprises, transformation. And it's also happening in Macron's 4th house, which is the heart chakra and homeland. The eclipse on the 30th also falls onto his moon and his 4th house. So I'm just putting out there, the details are in the notes. Anyway.
Well, let's hope it's for Macron. The last thing they need is Le Pen.
Indeed. And as you will know from my dream, the planets were showing me a severed foot. If Le Pen wins, it's like the foot of Europe will be severed. But the way it's looking, don't believe the polls. Until it's in, we don't know. And Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks, surprises, revolution, liberation, and it is in France's first house. Remember as well, France is the country of what? Revolution. Yeah. So anyway, I'll get my notes later. Honestly, it's been engrossing. Anyway, so shall we begin? Shall we begin, Lady G?
Absolutely.
All right. So first question. So now this is about Mallory McMorrow. Are you familiar with her?
Nope.
Okay.
Never ever heard the name.
So Mallory, I'm always digging around the news, finding out what's going on in America. So Mallory McMorrow, is the Democrat. What is she? She is the Democrat. She's one of the senators. I think she's the Democrat senator for Chicago. Forgive me if I've got the word senator or governor. I'm not sure which, but she's a Democrat. And what happened was that, where is it here? She was accused of being a child groomer by a Republican senator called Lana Theis. Yeah, because you know the Republic Uglies are just being outrageous right now. Outrageous. So she was called a child groomer by this this senator. And Mallory McMorrow went and made a bombastic speech in her defense, which went viral. Yeah, it was huge. And basically she said, you are attacking me with these allegations because I am a parent. So she said, look, I am a Christian white woman. I'm a mother. And I'm, for equality, fairness, and all that kind of stuff. And basically to try and tear me down, you're calling me a child groomer. This is just astonishing stuff. Anyway, she tore down the whole thing, and it was quite incredible. So the question here is, what's the impact of her speech on America? Yeah, this is one of the first times we've actually seen the Democrats fight back. So I wanted to ask the cards what her speech, the effect of what her speech will be on America. And the second part of it is, What is her likely political future? So she's become a bit of a star, but that's the first one. How will her speech impact on Americans? And if you guys in the comments know who is familiar with Mallory, let us know your thoughts. So while you're shuffling, Lady D, I'll just do a few readouts. So Patricia Franzino, thank you so much for joining us. Just so you know, guys, when it comes to moderators, because some people are like, HoDi doesn't have moderators. For some reason, YouTube won't allow me to appoint them. I've tried so many times, I can't do it. Yeah, for some reason. So if you do see anything stinky fish in the comments, yeah, from people, just ignore it. Yeah, it's the best thing we can do. But at the moment, for some reason, I am not able, pardon me, to appoint moderators. So take it up with YouTube. And most of you are great anyway. It's very rare that I get hecklers now. All right.
Well, last time we had the one that was trying to put the porn sites up there the whole time.
Really? Oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
God, that's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a great place, to, top up on that. Wow.
Oh, yeah, we're all so into it over here.
All right. So, Mallory McMorrow's speech. What impact will it have on America? What do you have, Lady G, or do you want me to go first? I don't mind.
Well, in the center of it, I have that she's fighting back. She's putting out that new information. Above it, I think she's walking away. People are going to be walking away from it. And underneath of it, put an end to it. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy into the drama.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going into it, working in it. And the challenge is she's fighting it tooth and nail. In the past, we have maybe she's kind of on her own or, going to maybe do some investigation, but she is standing and defending herself, of course. Underneath of it all, we have this is an abuse of power, trying to get a way to go forward, but it's going to wind up being a tower moment for the other one that's doing dirty pool. We have karma. The wheel is turning.
Wow. Very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Let me just click here on some people that are leaving some lovely comments for us. And so let's just see. Okay, so what I've got now, in a way, this is almost like a cold read for me because I wasn't familiar with her until I saw this show. But it's nice to see. I watched the speech, her rebuke, and it was powerful. It was filled with passion. It was filled with determination, righteousness, and real clout. And when I saw her, my overwhelming feeling was like, this is what the Democrats need to be doing across the board, almost fighting fire with fire. It's like they've been, I don't want it to be too critical because of course America is not my country, but you know what I mean, don't you, Lady G? Like someone really just taking the fight to the Republicans. The Republicans are literally calling the Democrats openly now pedophiles and this, that, and the other. Do you know it? Do you know in the UK, you can get arrested for that? You can actually be charged and arrested for that in the UK. It's actually in a public space to actually accuse someone of that baselessly is a criminal offense.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. That's a horrible, horrible thing to put on somebody.
It's horrible. And they're doing it in public nakedly. And I just find that extraordinary. So in terms of how will America kind of respond, my cards are quite interesting here. So here I get the 9 of Pentacles. And of course, this is about a lady that is independent, knows herself, she's confident, and is not beholden to anyone else. So we could take this to be symbolizing Mallory, you know. And she said, look, one of the things she said, comfortable women like me need to step up to change the status quo politically. Isn't that interesting? And here she comes like that. Now, the obstacle position here, funny enough, or could this be supporting? Because if we look here, we have got the Ace of Pentacles, which we know is a very positive card. So the way I would see that is that normally this would be an obstacle position. But of course, her speech has gone down extremely well. It went viral. So people obviously found some value in what she said in that speech. Also, as well, it also suggests too that she's probably not going to struggle to raise funds for her campaign after this. Yeah. I think she's going to be doing all right.
I think
we look here,
a lot of Democrats will be behind her to push this forward after that.
Absolutely, absolutely, because she's come forward and she said something bold. But what's interesting, though, when we look at the other cards in terms of the response of America, here, look, I get the Seven of Cups. This card is coming up for me a lot in a lot of these readings. So here, this is what illusions and delusions that can be, but it can also mean as well making choices. So in a way, it's almost like her speech is to try and clarify the illusions and delusions that have been projected onto her. But and of course, the American public.
Yeah, all those things up in the air too that's going on with, you know, the whole political spectrum.
Absolutely. It's astonishing. We really do live in remarkable times. In many ways, for me, this represents how Americans feel right now. Kind of a bit beleaguered, battle weary, after so many intrigues, ups and downs. If we just think of what has happened since December 2021, when that Kala Sarpa Yoga began, we've had the inflation crisis go completely out of hand. Americans are feeling like they're embattled, but they're still holding on. They still have some hope. And the outcome card I get here is the Knight of Wands. And just to say, that was the Nine of Wands that I saw before, mentioned before. And here we have the Knight of Wands. So this is about moving forward with passion, with desire. Could this be that the Democrats may finally get a little bit of fire in their belly? Maybe
ready
some
to fight back, charging forward. Yeah, we're not taking it anymore.
Yeah, I really hope that is the case, because just from the outside looking in, these allegations that people are saying in courts of law, just out there, literally calling the opposition pedophiles and stuff like that, is utterly shocking. And to think that the politics, unfortunately, in the States has gone this way really is very worrying. And I just hope it stops. I hope it stops. Okay, so let's do a few more hellos here. So what's that here? Connie B saying, hit the thumbs up, everyone. Thank you. Who else do we have? We've got Patricia Sands. We have got Seska Ranieri, Lynn Lowe, Christopher Guala, Sharon Donnelly, Hosa, Annalie Finch, someone also saying, don't forget to press the like button, and so many more. Okay. So, Lady G, do you have anything else to add to that, or are you good for the next question?
No, all good for the next one.
All right. So that's Mallory Marlowe. So that's it. She's Michigan State Senator. I've just seen it in my notes. Let's see here. Now this question came in from Barbara, and she wanted to ask about Priti Patel. Yep. So we've gone to the UK now for the international element. And of course, we'll be looking at France at the end. Now, Priti Patel is the UK's Home Secretary. Now, the UK has been having a bit of an issue with migrants crossing the channel in boats. Have you heard about this?
No.
Okay, so this has been a big thing that's been running for years, and this is a lot of what Brexit was about. Yeah, so just to give you guys who may not be familiar, you know, or a bit of the background. So the whole idea of Brexit was that sovereign borders for the UK, etc., etc. But the Tories were warned this isn't going to change anything in regards to people, because people are fleeing from Syria and all over the world and stuff like that. So Priti Patel has pulled out quite an extreme stick. So anyone who touches land in the UK has the right to be processed, have their claims processed. But she's changed the location of where that processing will happen going forward. Would you like to guess where that place may be?
I have no idea.
Okay. Rwanda. In Africa. I kid you not. I kid you not. So now, anyone who's crossing the channel, when they're going to get processed, they're going to be flown to Rwanda. So you can imagine this has caused quite a furore in the UK. Yeah, including the church. Wow, I know it's I mean, it's really something. It's really something. So the question here is, what will now, forgive me, Barbara, I can't remember exactly how you phrased your question, so it could be slightly different. So what will the likely impact be on migrants arriving in boats crossing the channel to this new policy? What will be the impact on them and their feeling? So let's look at that. I mean, that's quite something, isn't it, Lady G? Like, wow. So they're saying what's happening now. A lot of migrants who are having their claims processed, they're saying they're going underground, and a lot of them are withdrawing their claim because, of course, they don't want to be deported to Rwanda, of all places. Wow. Okay, what will be the likely effect on migrants coming to the UK? All right. Let's see. What will be the likely effect? Oh my goodness. Gosh. Are you ready to go, or do you want me to go?
Oh, go ahead and go.
All right.
Trying.
So, because in many ways this will be a cold read well, it's always a cold read anyway, isn't it? Because I always surprise you with the questions. Do you know what? My cards are really quite unambiguous. So they really are speaking about how the migrants feel. So if we look here, first card I get is the moon. Yeah. So they are obviously this is like emotional turmoil. They feel that the processes aren't clear to them. They're feeling emotional and mentally disturbed, essentially, by this new turn of events, and that's actually what a lot of them have said on camera. When we look at it, and it's unclear to them as well. They feel it's clandestine, and the motives, are not very clear. Well, we obviously know what the motives are, but look at the obstacle card. They literally feel betrayed, stabbed in the back. Many of them were saying, well, the UK, this is one of the few places where rights are respected. This is why we wanted to come here, in the first place, etc., and all that kind of stuff. And of course, Priti Patel has literally flung every knife she has, and she's going to be like, right, that's it. Now you're going to be processed in Rwanda. So, of course, there is absolute shock on that. We have the Sun card here. But in the Sun card, as we tend to know, tends to be a positive card, but we always have to see the card in context. And we have, of course, the Ten of Swords prior to that. So here, this is illumination now. So in many ways, the way I interpret this, Priti Patel has done this to send a strong, clear, and unambiguous message to anyone that wants to cross the channel, because she's saying, if you come, this is what you're going to get. Yeah. So it's unambiguous. It's all out in the open now. Look at the next card. Five of Swords, vicious battle, abuse of power. Many people are accusing Priti Patel of abusing her power, yeah, as Home Secretary. It's a vicious fight, but also as well, this would also induce the feeling in some of the migrants, which could be, was it worth it? Is it worth it going through all of the battles? Think of all the stuff that hoops they have to jump through, the money they need to pay, etc., to come over. Now, of course, I'm not supporting traffickers, yeah, because this has become an industry. It has to stop somewhere, but it indicates the perception that maybe Priti Patel has been ruthless, but it can also show that maybe many of the refugees will think, is it worth it? And when we look at the outcome card, look at that. It is, what's that? It is the Eight of Swords. So we can see this is feeling what? Trapped, imprisoned, stuck, feeling victimized. There is that element of getting oneself into this situation, but also as well, what choice do many people feel they have? If you're from Syria or whatever, do you know what I mean? They'd rather take the chance. But now look, their hands are tied. They're bound, and they don't feel their future is secure. However, they can shimmy from these bonds, but who wants to shimmy from those bonds when you're in Rwanda? Yeah. So what do you have, Lady G?
Well, what I've got with this is that underneath of it, not good motives. Okay, we got the Devil card. Above it, wish fulfilling thing, the merchant, and that this is coming down in the center of it rapidly. Okay, this is coming out of the blue. Going into it, she's lost her compassion. All the water's gone out of that cup. And the challenge for them is going forward. Where do we go? Okay, because all they're seeing is a bunch of, the moon, the fallacy, the things being put out.
And you got the moon as well.
Yeah, and the energy she's putting out is just bad, bad, bad. Of concern is they're wondering if she's in it for the money, something happened, and what's the path forward with this? They're out there naked. I mean, just where are we going to go? How are we going to go? Underneath of it all, she's walked away emotionally. They're struggling and trying to find a way to go forward, and they need to find somebody that they can relate to that's got some compassion.
Yes, very, very interesting. And we just had a message come in there as well, giving some from Julie Short, saying, requesting white light to Macron and France does not need to put up with what the US did with 45. We will have to see, folks. As they say, don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading the charts. Exactly, I'm just reading the charts, and let me tell you, there could be something seismic here. You never know. Look, it could be that he either wins by a landslide and then the story's forgotten. Yeah, but when I look at the charts, full analysis is in those notes that I've left. Let me tell you, there could be something shocking. And he is slap bang due for a midlife crisis, by the way, which is often caused by Uranus. I've just been reading an astrology book on that, talking about the Kundalini. And anyway, we'll get to that at the end. Okay, anything to add, Lady G, before I move on to the next question?
Nope, absolutely nothing.
Okay, so here we are. We're coming to MTJ. Yeah? MTJ. Oh man, I think this lady has got more lives than the cat. Yeah, more lives than the cat. And It's just extraordinary. So I was in preparation for this. I was actually watching her. I think she was in court today. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I think she was in court today, and she was being asked questions, and she's like, I don't recall. I don't remember. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is this? For me, this isn't even an episode of Dallas. This is like an episode of Sunset Beach. Do you remember Sunset Beach? Did you ever watch that drama?
Except for when it's her lawyer, then she has total recall of every second of that day.
Do you know what I mean? And she sort of, in a way, it's just come to me. Do you remember there was a character in Sunset Beach called Annie? Do you remember she was always scheming and twisting and doing all of this kind of stuff? And for me, MTJ it's just come to me now, makes me think of Annie, squirming and just check. And you're just like, this is shameless. So let me just read my notes so I can remember what I've put here to put into context for anyone who is not familiar, because obviously lots of people internationally watch this channel, so they may not know. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is who we are talking about, who is the controversial Republican. What is she? She's not a senator, is she? What is she? She's a senator, isn't she, or something like that?
I get so lost between the House and the Senate.
Something like that. I think she might be in the House.
One of those things, anyway.
One of those things where she really doesn't belong. But anyway, so now who's brought this case? So the context is that the Free Speech for People, this is an organization. So it's an election and what's this? Let me take my glasses off. It is an election and campaign finance reform organization. Yeah. Free Speech for People. They've brought this lawsuit on behalf of state voters. So I think state voters in Chicago against MTJ, saying that all of her comments and action in regards to January 6th violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which states that anyone engaged in insurrection or rebellion is barred from running for federal state office. Yeah, so I hope that gives a bit of the vast majority of you guys watching this will know this already, but this is for anyone that is not familiar, because I had to write all this, this stuff down. So there's that. So she's been implicated in the planning of January 6th and has vocally defended the insurrection in recent past, saying it was in line with the Declaration of Independence call to overthrow tyrants. That was her original defense. So obviously she supports what? The insurrection. So the question here is what is MTJ's political future? I hope that explanation wasn't too laborious for people, but we just had to put it into context because it is a legal thing. What is MTJ's political future? It's MTJ's political future. I mean, it's scandalous that this woman has even got a job. It's the stuff that has come out of her mouth has been beyond parody.
Oh, just watching that with her in the court was just crazy.
And did you see the bit where he was like, okay, so you don't recall, blah, 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 but you're not denying. And when he said to her, well, you called Nancy Pelosi a traitor, she was like, no, I didn't. Blah. And then he says, let's call case, and blah. And then she's like, no, I meant in regards to the board. To the board. Oh, please.
And then all the tweet things. Well, I don't know. I don't watch it. I have people that look, I don't know. No, she knows exactly what's going out on that.
It's just astonishing. I've never thought I would see the day where there was lying this naked. Do you know what I mean? It's like beyond parody.
Well, I knew she's going to spin everything, 10 ways to Sunday at the court thing, but she's, I don't know why is this the whole repugly ugly thing? I don't know. I don't recall. I don't remember. Oh, gee, it was somebody else,
I know. It's like, for me, like, again, thinking of Annie from Sunset Beach. Do you remember? I think she had an evil twin. And I was watching this and I was like, well, who did this then, MTJ? Your evil twin. Yeah, separated at birth.
Oh, I love when they had the thing and they had the recording. Well, that's CNN and you guys cut it. And it's,
Is that...
You can't believe anything CNN says, It's like, oh my God.
I mean, in this day and age, we do all have to take, media with a pinch of salt and use our discernment. But when someone comes up with a recording
exactly
of your voice,
their mouth moving and they're saying that, it's like, no, you said it, okay?
So how about this? So look, I'll have a go again. I'll read. So here we are.
Go ahead.
Here's MTJ. There she is in the boat. Yeah, in the courthouse, thinking like, God, you know what? How do I get out of this? So here she is, paddling frantically, trying to get to smoother waters. Yeah, because she knows she's in the doo-doo. What's the obstacle? The White House, quite literally. She's been lying because what was it? So what's which is the Four of Wands. So the previous card was the Six of Swords, and this card here is the Four of Wands. What does the Four of Wands deal with? This is often the card that we use for the White House, isn't it? But it deals with stability, foundations, etc. All this stuff. When it's in the opposition, it's like it's reversed, which is what? The destabilization. She tried to destabilize the foundations of democracy. We could look at it that way as well, because Four of Wands as well is about what? Values, all of that kind of stuff.
Ability,
here she is. Exactly. Yeah. Here she is trying to play what? Happy families. Yeah. Here's the Republicans lying through there. You know what? No, we're all good. That's not what I meant. I can't remember. I just wanted to defend America and the Constitution. This is her, yeah, trying to spin this thing as she's paddling frantically, yeah, paddling frantically. She's trying to project this image of this wholesome image of the GOP and stuff like that. But we all know it's what? It's a pile of BS.
Yeah.
Pile of BS. So here it is. Knight of Swords rushing forward because everyone knows it was what? It was a violent insurrection. Yeah, exactly. This is also the card of what? Violence, aggression, rushing forward. This is also her kind of defending herself in a way by pleading ignorant. When we all know, what is she doing? She's just trying to get away with it. I know you can't make this stuff up. Here we are, Seven of Swords. I mean, this card comes out every week, doesn't it, Lady G? Whenever we talk about the GOP, voila. So this is literally her lying.
Eyes and their little Russian friends. And
exactly. Lying through her teeth, trying to paddle for safer waters, when we all know she's trying to get away with it, about the insurrection where everyone literally charged on the Capitol. So there, the cards are saying it very clearly. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, I don't have much better. So in the center of it, she's abused her power. Okay. Underneath of it, the dirty money, the usual, repugly, ugly dramas that they do. Above it, it's that fight. It's that struggle. It's the continued thing she's doing. So going forward, she's, taking a hit. She's going to take a hit with this. The challenge is her going forward anywhere after this. In the past, again, we have that storming the Capitol. Now, I love when she was in there and say, but we were just there to protest. It was you know, it was Antifa. We thought it was Antifa dressed up like.
Shameless, isn't it? I mean, we need a comedy card in here, don't you think? We need like a Monty Python card. These people are ridiculous. Anyway,
It was so bad. Yeah, but I was there just talking to the people so we could go in and just get everything straight so we could protest and let them know this was a stolen election.
mm-hmm.
But the people are going to evaluate it, and sour grapes. Okay, you're done. Good luck with that.
Fascinating. I mean, it does. I mean, I suppose it goes without saying, isn't it? But as you know, I do Vedic astrology, Neo-Vedic astrology. So for those of you who are new, I'm a Neo-Vedic astrologer. What does that mean? I follow all of the principles and traditions of Vedic astrology, but I also include the outer planets and elements of Western astrology as well. Now, Vedic astrology and Western astrology, we use different parts of the sky. Vedic astrology follows precession, which the precession of the equinoxes, which is that the stars are moving backwards by 1 degree every 71 to /72 years. In the West, we still go by the old placements, but in India, we follow the placements. So for Western astrology, Pluto has been in Capricorn for a long time. The difference between the two is about 24 degrees out of a 30-degree portion of sky. Yeah. However, so back in November 2020, when the whole election was happening, I said on one of my videos, I'll have to put it, it's in the archives or something like that, have a rummage. I said Donald Trump would lose his mind, Duck LaRange would lose his mind. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Well, it's all transpired anyway. He would do something absolutely cray-cray. I said he will do something batshit. That's the word I used, actually. I said he will go totally batshit. And then I also said Pluto will move into sidereal Capricorn on the 1st of January 2021. And I said some major event would happen. And I said Pluto will be pulling the energy of the flying gripe, because that's where it was at the time, which is a star. A gripe, I think, is an eagle. And it was in the poopy end. I said Pluto's going to bring something poopy to America in the context of the election. 5 days later, January 6th happened. Yeah. So I'm not so Western astrology, of course, you know, it still works, but it's very good for anticipating the future. It's psychological and it's, you know, it really has its virtues. But Vedic astrology deals a lot with concrete events because it's looking where the planets are astronomically, but both disciplines work. So look, this isn't a down on Western, but isn't that interesting, Lady G?
Very interesting.
Okay. So let's go for the next question.
Absolutely.
And let's see how we're doing on time. So we have one more question and then we'll close, of course, on the French elections because they are literally happening tomorrow and they are so important. So simple question. This is coming from Jenny W. So, and she's asked, will the action against Disney be DeSantis's undoing?
That's a good question.
Very good question.
He is just, he wants to be Trump on steroids. Just so bad.
And I think we should do some Shakespeare Says as well on MTJ.
Absolutely.
And also, of course, DeSantis.
Exactly.
So let's see here. So what effect, and there's over 800, almost 900 of you joining us today. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, what will be the effect? What does she say? Will the action against Disney be DeSantis's undoing? Will the action against Disney be DeSantis's undoing? Ooh. Oh, interesting. Okay. What do you have? Do you want to go? Would you like to go?
Go forward. Yeah.
All right. Brilliant. This is interesting.
Sounds like you've got something interesting. Go, go, go.
Yeah, and the cards here are being quite subtle. They're being quite nuanced, except for the first card. So here we are. Will this be DeSantis's undoing? So the first card I get, look, the Knight of Swords is back.
Mm.
Now, in many ways, this actually exemplifies DeSantis's behavior, doesn't it? He's really gone after Disney, hasn't he? He's gone gangbusters, yeah? And his whole style overall, you know, the Knight of Swords has been what? Aggressive, thrusting, going forward. I'm the man, I'm taking, you know, the battle, the fight to everyone. This is a lot of what his stuff is about. But let's not forget, Duck Larange likes to be the main act.
Exactly.
He always wants to be the main act. And for him, he would see this election for him to win or lose. Him, not DeSantis, as that little tete-a-tete revealed the other day. But this shows basically DeSantis's aggressive style. He's really gone after Disney because he feels he can win some points there. However, look at the obstacle position. Now, this can often refer to the Biden. However, the King of Cups means a compassionate, but it means also as well, it means a compassionate, artistic, and creative man. Yeah? Or person. What is Disney if it's not a creative and artistic institution? Which is what? King-like. This is huge. Yeah, this is huge. Yeah. Going after Disney, really? When they're one of the biggest, one of the biggest employers in Florida, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. So here he's met up with some resistance. Now look, the next card I get here is the victory card. Gets the victory card. Now, does this mean victory for DeSantis? Or does it mean victory for Disney, in the sense who gets the moral ground? Now, if we look here, the next card I get is the Hierophant, which is to do with government. It's to do with tradition, even spirituality to an extent, orthodoxy, all of that kind of stuff. So that could imply a potential victory in government. However, look at the outcome card. So that card that I called before was the Six of Wands here, but the outcome card is the Four of Cups. And that means really not liking your options on the table. So we all know that DeSantis has what? Ambitions to be victorious in government, yeah? Which is clear here. Six of Wands with the Hierophant, government. But he's not going to like his options on the table. Let's not forget, Duck Larange can also be represented by this card, who is an aggressive man. And this might be, what will happen is, Duck Larange is not going to make this easy for DeSantis. And DeSantis is going to be in a situation where he's not going to be liking his options going forward. I was also looking at his chart as well. And he's going to go into Ketu, Saturn Ketu. Oh, when is it? I think it's in November. I think it's in November of this year. I'm just going to quickly have a quick rifle. But while I'm rummaging, Lady G, would you like to share with us what you've got? And I will find his chart to give us some more insight.
At the center of it, they know that if he does this with Disney, it's going to cost the taxpayers in that area. Although he's saying no, but it definitely is. Underneath of it, the foundation is this new action he's taking. Above it, we have the Wheel of Karma. Going into it, this is from his illusions and his delusions and things he's got going. The challenge is the truth. He doesn't like this loss about when it comes to the lesbian and gay community and transgender, because Disney supports it. Mm-hmm. So that's what his whole thing is. It's about the Lovers, and I wanted to get a clarification on that. It's about the monetary thing. Of concern is justice. You know, his thing is about the lesbian, gay, transgender thing, putting an end to that. This is causing a lot of emotional problems, mental problems for people, and they're carrying the burden of that. Again, underneath of it all, it's looking about going forward, out in the cold, being out in the cold, being tied up with that. And I think people, temperance for me sometimes is cooling. People are cooling on him when he does this to Disneyland, and it's a payback just because they're not going to do his transgender hate cycle. They're going to start looking at this, and especially when it hits their pocketbooks, the people that are around there.
Yeah, very good point. And I just want to say here as well, thank you for the donation from Christopher. Thank you so much. Very, 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 very kind of you. And let's just see how I usually work on Saturdays only gets. Oh, here we are. So someone's saying that they. Linda Reeves usually work on Saturdays, only get to see this on the relay. Yay for the extra days off. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, so before we do some Shakespeare Says, and this is going to be a little bit more astro heavy, this one, but there is so much going on. Looky here, this is Rhonda Santos's chart. Now, if anyone wants to see the video I did on him a little while ago, it will be in my playlist. I can't remember where. Look, I'll try and attach it as one of the end kind of like videos. Now, the important thing is this: Ron DeSantis, so according to the charts that I found, who was born on the 14th of September 1978. Yeah, didn't have the birth time for him, but I went for 12 midday because many people in office are born when the sun is high in the sky, and it works very well for him. So he went into his Saturn Mahadasha. What's Saturn? Saturn is about what? Maturity, restriction, karma, duty, reality. Yeah, it's often known as a difficult it can be a difficult dasher, and it lasts for 19 years. Anyway, so he went into that Saturn. He went into Saturn Mercury on the 26th of September 2019. Yeah, so just after his birthday. But look, he's going to go in here into Saturn Ketu. Yeah, this is a difficult one because it involves a lot of separation, moksha, spirituality via loss. And we also understand that his wife has not been very well as well. So I just wanted to add that. And in fact, I think in my original video, I said there may be an issue with the wife, and I think she's got cancer. So, we wish the best for her as well. Still a human being at the end of the day. However, he goes into Saturn Ketu on the 5th of June, 2022. In a matter of weeks, his fortunes could change. The thumb screws, Saturn could turn the thumb screws on him in some kind of way. Also as well, when we look here, at the time when I was casting this chart, Saturn was over here, but now Saturn is up here and is about to go into his 5th house, which deals with speculation, also deals with politics and stuff like that, and it goes into the sign of Aquarius, which deals with the people. So, there could be a bit of a backlash, but what I think is there will be this element where there could be a backlash combined with a bit of the factor of Duck L'Orange could be putting a little spanner in the works. Because, even if Duck L'Orange doesn't run, he doesn't want DeSantis to win. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we need to remember as well. He doesn't want DeSantis to win. So we will see from there. Shall we see what Shakespeare Says has to say about MTJ?
Absolutely.
All right. So for newcomers, when we're dealing with particularly scandalous and slightly douchebaggy people, I rely on Shakespeare. Yeah, which is The Bard's Guides to Abuses and Affronts. And we read this out for people that are particularly unsavory. And what I do is I flick through the pages and I will be asking Lady G to tell me where to stop, and I will read that page. So here I am. Tell me when to stop, and I'll...
Okay, there.
All right, let's see. What's it? Here we are. This is what the bard has to say about MTJ. A fusty nut with no kernel. And I'll repeat one more time. A fusty nut with no kernel. And that has come from Troilus and Cressida. There it is.
Yeah.
I can get that up.
Fusty nut with no kernel.
Yeah, she's a fusty nut with no kernel. Oh my God. That is so funny, that, isn't it? And let's read again for DeSantis. So I'll flick again. And you just tell me where to stop.
Okay, stop.
All right. Oh, look at this. And here the bard has to say, many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage. Wow, that's from 12th night. Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage. So could it be that Doc Larange and his cronies do something that kind of scuppers DeSantis' prospects?
Yes, his fantasies for being president. And I'm going to be the new head of the Republicly Ugly Party.
You may have to watch your back on this one, DeSantis. May have to watch your back on this one. And thank you for that donation that just came in. I missed the name. And then we'll see here. Okay, so we have got. Oh, look, we've only got about 4 minutes left. So we will close up just with the French elections. We can pull some cards on that. Just as a reminder to everyone as well, thank you so much to all the new subscribers and current subscribers. Don't forget to like and share and join if you wish, or subscribe. And Lady G's details, she's got a great channel as well. They're in the description below. So, Lady G, we wouldn't normally be talking about this much about France if it were not so important. As you guys know, I've just done the whole astrology. Literally, I was so engrossed in the astrology that I burnt the fish. Honestly, my salmon came out like biscuit.
Yeah, somebody said it was the sacrificial salmon.
I mean, still quite tasty, very crispy, but still quite tasty. But as you guys will know, I did a reading, didn't I, on I did a reading on Zelensky and Putin, and they've got past life karma issues together. It is even more the case with Macron and Le Pen.
Oh, my goodness.
Even more. Let me just quickly find in my notes, just because I don't want to take up too much time, but let me just find in my notes where I did a little kind of, because look, I did, this intense chart, which is going to look confusing for a lot of people. But here we are. So in terms of about them, the conjunctions, I'll quickly just read off. We may go over a little bit. So here we are. So what I've put here. So the latest polls as 23rd, according to Politico, Macron, 55%, Le Pen, 45% as of April 22nd, 2022, yesterday. And I put here, Macron courts the Muslim vote last minute. So, of course, Le Pen is sort of well, she wants to ban the hairdressing. And of course, Macron is trying to go to the other way. However, what I've written here, Macron and Le Pen, without doubt, have past karma lives to resolve this lifetime. The karmic bonds are extremely strong. They have a lot of celestial glue, and they are much, much closer aligned than people think. You're getting the inside scoop here. Astrologically, they are much closer than people think. I know that might be a shocker. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm reading the charts. Yeah, you got to remember, I've read hundreds of charts, hundreds, and one knows the patterns. So here we are. I've detailed here what those things are. So Le Pen's Ketu, which Ketu deals with, is the south node of the moon, and it means past life. Whenever you see conjunctions between those two, it shows a close bond. So her Ketu is at 18 degrees, and it's on Macron's Rahu, which is the future, and his Rahu is at 18 degrees, 36 minutes. That's exact. It means they have a past life together. They are affecting each other's past and future. So, and vice versa. Macron's Pluto. Pluto is also past life, but it deals with traumas, legacies, dark night of the soul, transformation. Thank you so much for that donation that's just come in. Let me just see. That's from Marilyn. Thank you. So Macron's Pluto, dark night of the soul, Persephone, which deals with abduction. Remember that, Persephone. Transformation and rebirth is exactly on Le Pen's ascendant, the body. His Pluto exactly on her body. Macron may have abused Le Pen in a past life. Yeah, there's some payback going on here. Macron and Le Pen both have a node on the sun of France, which deals with the kingdom. The French may feel eclipsed by either winner. So apparently they said whoever's win, the French, they're not going to be happy because they don't like either. Le Pen promises something from France's past. Ketu, past. She's talking about what? Taking France back to a place where it felt good. Similar to what? Duck l'Orange. Macron.
To Priti.
Exactly. Macron promises things from the future. Rahu, his Rahu is on the sun of France. However, Rahu often lies. We need to remember that. Yeah, I'm not calling him a liar, but it is known for this. So maybe he may be what? Over-promising to France.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Le Pen's moon, which deals with the mind and emotions, is tightly conjunct Macron's sun. Her moon is at 8 degrees, 37 minutes. His sun is at 5 degrees, 52 minutes. So this often means you see this in couples that are married. Many people that are married have that combination. Yeah. So he admires her flair and she is attracted. She admires his flair and he is attracted to her emotions and passions. Yeah. They have a lot in common, guys. I know it's controversial, but I'm just reading the astrology. And then Le Pen's Saturn is on Macron's moon and Chiron. Macron's retrograde Mars is with her Mars, and his Mars and her Mercury are exactly conjunct as well in the sign of Cancer, which falls into the first house of France's chart. And the solar eclipse is happening, which is upheavals, sudden shocks and surprises, things being revealed, happening in Macron's 4th house, heart chakra, homeland as well. And it's happening in Le Pen's 8th house, which is what? Sudden transformations. So the eclipses, Uranus, the nodes of the moon, sudden shocks and surprises, revelations. It could be a landslide, or this could trigger a midlife crisis for Macron. That's all I'm saying. I'm just reading the chart. Yeah, I'm just reading the chart. Thank you, Lena Reeve. So let's do a final pull on that. We've just gone over. Sorry, guys. So how shall we frame this question, Lady G, after astrological?
I have no idea.
Shall we just say, will Macron win?
There you go. Okay.
Will Macron win? Let's see what the cards have to say. Will Macron win? And if anyone wants the details on what I've said, because I couldn't fit it all in, and I didn't have time for a video, go to my community page. And I've got the charts with all of the planetary placements, transits for France, Macron, and Le Pen. And I've also published the notes as well. So just go to the community tab and then you can get the deep dive. Okay. Will Macron win? Oh. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Tight race, guys. Look at this. He is holding on. I know that the official thing says 10% lead. Let's see what happens. Look, if it's a landslide, we can just forget this whole reading and we can sigh, you know, a big sigh of relief. Yeah. But look, the card symbolizing Macron is someone who's desperately trying to hold on to what? Power. But look at his obstacle. There is an element of fate and destiny at play here because the astrology is indicating some kind of dramatic event, or the planets are strongly involved. Look, he's trying to juggle, weigh things up, balance things out. He's not sure, even though he's very confident, he's not sure. And could this as well be influence from overseas, potentially? Who knows? We have to see. There will be some illumination. Of course, here we are. We have the sun. And sorry, the card previous was the two of coins. So there will be some illumination. Something's going to come out of the dark, something that was hidden. But look, his outcome card again. Look, it's Two of Swords. Twos are what? Balancing acts. And out of 5 cards here, we've got 2 cards that represents what? Change, balancing things out, not being sure. We also as well have Wheel of Fortune here. There is an element here that is beyond everyone's control. So I'll leave it there. Lady G, I'll let you close before we end the show.
Okay, well, at the center of it, we have the things he's been trying to talk about. Underneath of it, you know, you said he's trying to present things as, you know, compassionate, but above it, trying to get away with something. He's not being totally honest. Going into it, he wants to appear the star and talking about future and it's going to be better, yada, yada. The challenge is, though, the wish-fulfilling card, and I don't think everybody's on board with it. In the past, we've had him. He was the head of government, but final card, Tower.
Tower. Wow.
Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I did not.
Or should it be this? Wow. All right, folks. So there we are. We've read the cards. We've
done entertainment purposes.
For entertainment purposes only. As you know, we just give it to you as we get here. So there's a lot more going on with this election than it appears to the eye. Yeah. So obviously, everyone take a deep breath. Let's see what happens. Oh, you know, it could just be that, you know, maybe look, Macron wins by a landslide and then, you know, then it's all over. Then we're all fine. We all sleep at night. But if there is a big shock here, you know, you can see what the cards and what the astrology have been saying. So I hope everyone enjoyed that show. We've gone over a little bit. I don't want to go on for too long. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Thank you, Lady G, as always. It was a two-handed tonight, but we covered a lot of ground. It was almost 1,000 of you joining us this evening. So we really appreciate the support. Again, feel free to like and subscribe and share. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week. Dianne won't be here next week because she'll be at the ball. And hopefully I should be in a foreign country by then. I'll explain on the next video why I'm still in London. But Spain, moving the goalposts. Still bitter about Gibraltar. But anyway, we'll leave that. A lot of Brits are very unhappy, including some business in Spain. But that's for another time. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you found that interesting. Let's cross our fingers. But the cards and the astrology are saying something. So maybe we're wrong and we don't have to worry about it. Okay. See everyone next week. All right. Cheers.